So Chuck, what if you would have one top color for your parakeet? What would it be
On the
on the
parakeet,
parakeet?
it would be gray and white.
Right. And how big are you tying this fly? Like,
I've tied them up to 6/0.
so that's what, like an 8-inch fly, 9-inch
Yeah,
fly?
it'd be close 7.5, 8 inches.
Okay.
In fact, the one I caught my big brown off of, it was about 6 inches long.
And that brown was what, 32 inches?
Yeah, 32 inches, weighed 13.5 pounds.
And if you had one color to fish for the CK nymph, what would be your color?
Oh, it's a hard one, but it would be the black one.
Okay.
Black one with a grizzly hackle.
So, if you were to give advice to a beginning fly tyer of any kind of extra like advice on like how to tie flies or steps you would take to do something different that you've learned over the years, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, if I was starting out and was going to get really serious about it, I would seek some advice from a good fly tyer. In fact, I'd ask him to show me something. He'd have to take fly tying lessons. And the next thing, but I think it's just as important as that, is to buy good equipment. Equipment is easy to tie on. Might cost you a few bucks, but by golly, it makes a difference. Get that, and and again, stay organized with your stuff. Your materials and things like that, and buy good materials. And look when you're tying flies. When you change sizes of flies, you need to change thread sizes, stuff like that. Just really pay attention to what's going on. You become a good fly tyer.
So over the years, you've been tying since '61, and you've come up with the clawdad, the CK baitfish, the Creelex, the critter mite, the parakeet, the CK nymph, the curly tail critter bug. You've come up with these flies. You've come up with great topwater patterns. You've done things differently than a majority of the fly tyers and fly producers out there, where you test out the flies, and it's not just tying a fly, making it look pretty, but you develop it. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, and I think the most important thing when you tie a fly, well, let's put it this way. A lot of these flies we tie today look exactly like what they're supposed to imitate. And a lot of them don't work because they don't swim like what we're trying to imitate. And I think that's probably the most important thing in fly tying. For instance, my clawdad in your hand, it doesn't really look like a crawfish to many people. But in the water, it swims like a crawfish, and that's what the fish take it for.
How many years have you been working with Ultra Suede?
Back about 1994, I think it was, when I got my first, right when they first came out with Ultra Suede. I had some fellers with clients of mine from North Carolina were in the furniture business. And that's one of the first places you ever saw Ultra Suede, come into being was in, the furniture business. And a fellow named Bob White, one of my favorite clients of all time, he bought me a grocery bag full of Ultra Suede scraps from one of the furniture factories down there where they, cut the pieces to, cover the furniture. And I got to experiment with it, and it turned out to be just a fantastic material for a lot of flies. It really did.
So if you could thank anybody, family or close friends or clients, if you want to throw shout outs or you want to thank anybody through the years, anybody you want to mention?
And of course, my wife, she put up with me for almost 51 years. My grandfather, my father, and some very dear friends of mine. That's, like I said, family and some close friends. That helped me out, got me out of tight spots. Just generally helped me out in life.